it's Jess from Sunflower Dairy, and I am going through all my garden stuff, kind of getting a plan together for this coming garden year. So, first things first, I have been ordering seeds, and I have been going through my seeds, kind of checking what I have, and kind of seeing how many seeds are in each seed package, if I need more of a certain variety. This year I'm planning on planting more in the garden this year, so I might need multiple packs of different things. So kind of just making a list and writing down what I'm going to need. Also, if you're new and you haven't really done a garden before, if you're new to gardening and you want to start gardening, so kind of sitting down and just make a list of what you want to put in your garden. Are you going to do vegetables? Are you going to do fruit? Are you going to do flowers? Kind of getting a game plan together of what you actually want to be planting in your garden, and then also kind of figuring out how much garden space you need as well. Also, have you ever started seeds before? Are you going to need seed trays? Are you going to need seed starting soil? Are you going to need tags? Are you going to need something to be able to mark what your seeds are? So kind of thinking about all of those things, make a list, write that down. It's good to do those things sooner than later, because right now, at least in my growing zone, it's not fully spring yet, so gardening season isn't quite here. So right now is actually a good time to be doing these kinds of things, because a lot of people aren't really thinking about it yet, because the weather, the weather's not acting like spring yet. So people, they haven't really started thinking about it yet. But if you're already thinking about it, and then you get everything you need now, then you won't have to worry about it later when everybody's rushing to get everything that they need. So also, if you haven't had a garden before, thinking about where you want your garden. Are you going to be doing raised beds? Are you going to need lumber for that? Are you going to be doing containers? Are you going to need containers for that? Are you going to be doing market gardening with, garden fabric? Are you going to be needing that? So, kind of writing down those things and figuring out what you're going to need. And then also, if you need to build anything or put anything together, doing that now, because once it's actually planting and gardening season, then during that time you have this window where you want to make sure you get your plants in the ground when they need to be put in the ground, so that you have a long enough time to get produce and have your plants produce as much as possible for you. So kind of thinking about all those things and getting a plan together is kind of what you want to be thinking about. So I think I pretty much have all of my seeds. I'm going to double check everything, go through everything again. Also, I got a few new seed varieties this year, so I'm excited about those, and I believe I have all of them, but I might have a few more that should be getting here pretty soon. But I will be doing a seed haul for you all about all of that, and showing you all the new varieties, because I know all of you are probably just as excited as I am for those. So also, if you haven't gotten seeds before, there's so many different places that you can get seeds from. And also, you can go through seed catalogs. You can get them online, or get them from a farm store or something like that. But, kind of thinking about all those kinds of things, like also, what are you going to need for your garden? Are you going to use, the soil that's there? Are you going to need soil? Are you going to need compost? Are you going to want to bring compost in? Are you going to want to make compost? So thinking about all of those things now, before we're getting right into gardening season, you want to be doing that now, so that you're ready when gardening season is actually here. And then also the other thing to think about is, are you doing your garden just for a hobby, or do you actually want it to produce food for you? So kind of thinking about how many plants you want of each variety, like, you know, how many tomato plants do you want, how many pepper plants you want, how many onions do you want, you know, thinking about all of that kinds, you know, all of those kinds of things. And then also, you know, thinking about, you know, do I just want my produce from my garden to be for fresh eating, or do I want to, you know, save some? You know, kind of thinking about that kind of thing, and then kind of thinking about, you know, am I going to need this many plants for, you know, this much produce? And then also, like, is this going to be a good gardening season? You know, is there going to be a problem with some of the plants? Should I plant extra? You know, so kind of thinking about that kind of thing. You know, thinking about all of those kinds of things, that's going to set you up for a good, successful gardening season. You know, kind of making a plan and getting everything ahead of time, you know, getting things written down. Also, you know, for starting your seeds, you want to also make sure that you know when you want to start your seeds. So, say that, you know, you want to grow tomatoes. So a lot of times tomatoes are usually planted 6 to 8 weeks, you know, before your last frost. So, you know, getting those started ahead of time so that they have a long enough growing season to actually produce for you. So what you're going to want to do for that is look up your last frost date. So, you know, putting in like your zip code, your town, where you're from, and then looking up your last frost date, writing that down, and then looking up, you know, what you want to grow and how many weeks that's going to take for it to grow, writing that down. And then when you actually start your seeds, you know, write that down as well. But, you know, ahead of time, you want to, you know, write down all this information and look at your calendar, and then write down exactly when you want to be starting your seeds, so that, you know, you're all set up for success for your gardening season. But so that is what I've been doing. I have been planning for this gardening season, kind of getting a plan together, and, you know, I have starting some of these seeds. And also check this out. See that? Do you all remember when I started artichokes a couple days ago? There's one popping up already. So that's pretty cool. All right, all. Well, thank you for coming along with me and thinking about what is going to happen in this gardening season, kind of getting a plan together, and, you know, just getting ready for gardening season. All right, all. Thank you for watching, and have a blessed day.